A great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Welcome to the first day of May for 2026. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic with you here on Extreme Sports, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. Realized yesterday, during our day off, my little drive to Crete, we've got the only live morning show in the city of Hastings, you and I. The only live morning show in the city of Hastings right here on Extreme Sports. So thanks for joining us here today. A lot to talk about. A change for the Nebraska wrestling program. Robert Kokish, who was with the team a few years ago, is coming back. He'll be an assistant coach for the Nebraska wrestling team. The baseball team for the Huskers and the softball team, they're in action this weekend, but on the road. Hastings College baseball team, we're playing in the GPAC championship game, the Doane bracket today against Doane University as the Broncos continue their late season push. We'll talk about our game yesterday that we had against Briar Clough. Meanwhile, the Hastings College softball team, they were 2-0 in the Midland bracket. And then yesterday they lost to Midland twice. So their season is over. Hastings High baseball team going to be in action today as they play host to Kearney. Adams Central is on the road today. They'll play at Twin River. Adams Central going to host the C6 district baseball tournament next week. Got the brackets out for that. We'll tell you about that. Meanwhile, Hastings High will play in the B3 district tournament at Elkhorn. So all that chat coming up. Of course, it's Friday. That means that Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network is going to join us at the bottom of the hour today to talk about the final days of racing at Fodder Park in Grand Island. And, of course, this is Kentucky Derby weekend, so we'll have plenty of insights on the Derby and the other big races being run this weekend in conjunction with the Kentucky Derby. So all that and more is coming up for you here this morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning, my man.
Yes, so much to talk about just in terms of the last 48 hours for you. So much to talk about coming up in the next 48 over at Fodder Park and Churchill Downs. This is kind of one of those shows that's pretty much just going to drive itself. But first of all, we got to talk a little bit about Hastings College. What a resurgence in the Great Plains Athletic Conference tournament, not just for baseball, but softball as well. Obviously, we know the result on softball. They dropped the 2 games to Midland yesterday, but played in their first bracket final, I think since 2019 or 2017, somewhere around there. And kudos, because that was a team, again, both baseball and softball, we went down to final weekend. We went down to even the final day. We had to do some scoreboard watching even after a 2-game sweep to end the season, and all of the things align, and you play your way into the tournament. You're the 8 seed. You knock off Midland in the very first game, turn around and then beat up on DAC West, and you're sitting in the driver's seat. And unfortunately, Midland just get caught hot last night and was able to win that second game and play their way into the final, I think, against Morningside on the softball side of things. But, kudos for the Broncos for showing up in Fremont and taking the fight. That was an exciting first day of softball that I think really is going to propel that team into next season. Then you look on the baseball side, and really same scenario, Mike. That was a team that had to win late and play their way in. They were playing postseason baseball really for the last 3 weeks of the rest of the GPAC season. They're able to play their way into a GPAC tournament, and they pick up 2 big wins, one against Doane, and then I think Briar Clough was the other victory, if I'm not mistaken. And Hastings College now sitting in the driver's seat and going to be playing for that bracket final. And you've been putting eyeballs on the baseball team. That has to look like a completely different team from a couple of times we've seen them this season.
Yeah, their defense, number one, their defense has been outstanding in this tournament so far. Yesterday, made some big plays when they had to against the Briarcliff. I don't think they've committed an error so far in their two games that they have played. So, but now Hastings comes up with Doane again tomorrow or today. They've already beaten Doane once, but Doane beat us 4 times during the regular season. This will be a tough matchup for us today. We'll play at noon, and if Doane wins that first game, they'll force a second championship game. That'll be at 3. So it could be a long day of baseball today in Crete, but we'll have all the games for you right here on Extreme Sports, 11:45 for the pregame show here today for game number 1. But Marcus Miller, who has thrown a ton of innings, not only for Hastings College, but for Hastings High and for the Legion teams over the many, many years. He goes out yesterday and throws a 4-hitter against Briarcliff. Did not walk a batter until there was 2 outs in the 9th inning. He finally walked his first batter, but he struck out 6, and he was in control of the ball game through like 118 pitches in the ball game yesterday to get through 9 innings. And Marcus Miller, the winning pitcher yesterday, propels the Broncos into the championship game tonight of the Doane bracket, or actually today. That'll go at 12 o'clock noon today, 11:45 for the pregame. So as soon as you and I get wrapped up here, it's back in the car.
Back in the car we go.
Back to Crete for the 3rd day in a row. Yeah, yesterday we couldn't work the show in, so we had to blow off the show yesterday because I had
9 a.m. start time.
Yeah, I had an early game yesterday.
Any road construction out in that direction?
No. It's pretty well open.
Pretty much all contained to Hastings.
Yeah, you got Highway 6. You got to go through all the towns to get to Crete.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's a pretty good drive. So
I like
anyway,
6.
we will have Hastings College baseball coming up for you today, 12 o'clock noon, 11:45 for the pregame. If Hastings wins, we're done for the day, and Hastings will move on to the GPAC championship game, which will be on Monday. If the Broncos lose that first game at 12 o'clock, we'll play a second game at 3. Both games will be 9-inning affairs, so we'll have the contest for you right here on Extreme Sports. We'll also have high school baseball today on Extreme Sports 2. Hastings High will take on Kearney today out at Duncan Field. That game will go at 4:30 this afternoon. We'll have the pregame at 4:15 on Extreme Sports 2. So that's what's going on as far as our broadcast plans are concerned today. I want to mention this because we are partnering with Cam Raceway for the 2nd year in a row. Last year, remember, we started giving you the feed of our Friday night races out at Cam Raceway. Well, this year we are partnering with the Cam Raceway for the 2nd straight season, and we have spent a ton of time during the off season with our upgrades, and we have reinvested in this partnership with the Cam Raceway to bring fans a better live stream experience than ever before. New this season to our live stream with the Cam Raceway, we've added a live action camera that will actually follow the racing around the track, so we won't be relying on that boring static camera that we had last year. We'll actually have an actual camera that follows the racing action. It'll give fans a better look at the battles and all the passes and all the action and excitement that we've got out of Cam Raceway each and every Friday night. We've also added some stream features, including an upgraded live scoring banner and a brand new fan vote that spectators at the track and fans watching from home can participate in, and more improvements still to come that we'll be talking about in the weeks ahead. But if you can make it to the races at Cam Raceway on a Friday night, we highly encourage you to do that. If you can't make it to the races, and there's a lot going on during this time of the year and throughout this summer, so if you can't be there, you can still be there by checking out our live stream at Extreme Sports, and to show you our new effects and what we have in store for you this year. The first 2 weeks of streaming will be absolutely free, And all you got to do is go to your website, cam.extremesports.com. Go there and follow the links, and you'll be able to watch the races absolutely free for the next 2 weeks to check out our new improvements. And if you'd like to give us some input, that would be great too. So check it out. It begins tonight. Another exciting season of Cam Racing at Cam Raceway in Hastings starts tonight. And if you can't be there, join us for the live stream at extremesports.com. So we're excited about that. Yeah, we've invested, the IT guys invested a lot of time and effort here during the off season to give you a better streaming experience, and we'll debut that tonight on the Extreme Sports. So, God, we got a busy day today. We've got Hastings College baseball. We've got Hastings High baseball. We've got the races tonight at Cam Raceway. Other than that, there's not a whole lot going on for us.
Other than that, we're just kind of chilling today. No, Cam will always have a special place in my heart. That's where I literally got my start, like cut my teeth doing sort of a cross between play-by-play and PA. As you know, if you're the trackside announcer, yes, you are monitoring the action. It's not really play-by-play in the sense that we hear Daryl and Bobby and the boys on Fox on Sunday afternoons, but it's similar. You're still getting the crowd hyped up about side-by-side racing coming off of turn 3, and still getting people fired up. I really, from the motorsports background I had, which wasn't very much, learned a lot in a couple of years hanging out with some of those guys. So, and it's interesting how when you're heading out to Cam, whether you've been there once or whether you've been there 100 times, how you all of a sudden become part of the Cam family, and working out there for a couple of years, whether it was with Steve Stenner, or working with closely with the Brunses or the Johnsons, and next thing you know, you're part of the Cam family and hanging out in the pits with them. So it will always have a special place in my heart. And I mean, they gave me probably 6 good years as trackside announcer before we finally went in different directions. It was Friday nights turned into kind of things that were more concerning for high school football, and later on in the radio career, and then moving up to GI, and we just kind of went our separate ways. But it was a fun way to cut the teeth as a young broadcaster.
All right, so if you want to check out the racing activity tonight, you can in person at Cam Raceway. Action gets underway at 8 o'clock, or you can join us on the stream here at Extreme Sports. We're really excited about what we have in store for you this year. So check it out for the next 2 weeks, absolutely free. Give us your input on what you see on our newly developed stream that we got in store for you at Cam Raceway here for the 2026 season. Where do we go?
How about the ass kicking in the NBA last night? Let's get NBA and NHL stuff done.
All right. The Knicks.
Ass kicking.
They put up 140 points last night. Atlanta, you want to play some defense? Of course, the Knicks got out to the lead, and that was the series clincher, so Atlanta probably just says, do whatever you want.
Yep.
Yeah, 140 to 89 last night. The Knicks beat Atlanta. So the Knicks win that series 4-2. The Timberwolves also locked up their series with Denver. They won that series 4-2. Timberwolves winning last night over the Nuggets 110 to 98. The other series that was played last night is now deadlocked at 3-3. Philadelphia beat Boston 106 to 93. So that series goes to a 7th and deciding game this weekend. There's 3 more games on tap tonight in the NBA playoffs, and these can all be a series clinchers for Orlando, Cleveland, and the Lakers. Those 3 teams are up 3-2 going into tonight's action. Detroit is playing at Orlando. Cleveland is at Toronto, and the Lakers are playing in Houston. So that's your recap for the NBA from last night and what's in store tonight. Also, we had some action but on the ice last night.
That's right. We had 2 series clinching victories. First for the Minnesota Wild as they knock off the Dallas Stars by the score of 5-2. Minnesota wins the series in 4-2. Anaheim Ducks. Marcus Metcalf going to be smiling ear to ear today, although he probably didn't get to stay up and watch it. The late 9 o'clock puck drop, per usual. Anaheim with 5 goals, a 5 spot. That's a handful of goals as they knock off Edmonton 5-2 and win the series 4-2. Very similar to the NBA, Mike. We have 3 potential clinching opportunities. They're all sitting in Game 6 with all the respective teams leading 3-2. The Habs can wrap it up against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They have the series advantage, and the series shifts back to Montreal, Quebec, which I think you just have to emphasize with a when you say it. The Sabres and the Boston Bruins. Buffalo has the 3-2 advantage. Buffalo's on the road. They're going back to the Garden to take on the Boston Bruins, but hoping to upset a bunch of New Englanders. And then Vegas, they could wrap it up. They're on the road to Salt Lake City, where they have the 3-2 advantage over the Mammoth, and that is the 9 p.m. Nightcap, past my bedtime puck drop in Salt Lake City versus Vegas.
It's Friday night. You go to bed at 9 o'clock on a Friday night?
If I have to work on Saturday, I do.
Not early. You're not here on Saturday.
Not here.
But
on
in the
Saturday.
afternoon, God, can you get up in time to go to work in the afternoon on a Saturday? Jeez.
It's questionable.
Cleveland Browns, they broke ground for their new dome stadium yesterday. It's supposed to be open for the 2029 season. Going to hold 67,000 people. It's next to Cleveland's Hopkins International Airport, which is about 15 miles south of downtown Cleveland. The Browns will pay for their current home to be demolished after the 2028 season, which will make way for lakefront development. So Cleveland opening a new stadium here in a couple of years into 2029. And because the new stadium is next to an airport, the new stadium is going to be 80 feet below ground and 221 feet above ground. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be the new Cleveland Stadium. The most notable feature inside the stadium is the new dog pound. It'll be built on a 34-degree pitch and extend more than 60 rows to just beneath one of the giant video scoreboards. It's designed to be freestanding for the new dog pound, but there will still be seats that can be pulled down if fans want to sit down. That's when Cleveland falls behind by like 35 points, and the dog pound is not as raucous as it usually is. There'll be little seats there you can fold down, and the dog pound can go lay down, boys. You're down.
Lay down, dogs.
Yeah, down, boys. You're down by 35 points. Let's see. This is going to be part of a stadium building boom. Of course, we talked about Buffalo's new facility. It's going to open this year. Tennessee is building a new stadium. They're going to be opening next year. Jacksonville is renovating their stadium for 2028. Now Cleveland building a dome stadium for the 2029 season. But it's built by an airport. I was reading this morning. 80 feet below ground, 221 feet above ground, because naturally the airport is right there. There's some height restrictions around the airport. So to get around that, we're just going to dig a big old hole, and we'll start building it from the ground up, so to speak.
It's interesting. I'm not a construction expert. That I'll see it when we see it. Cool idea.
But don't expect. Normally, when you build a new stadium, you get awarded the Super Bowl. But they were talking with Roger Goodell yesterday, who was on hand during the groundbreaking ceremonies. Mm-hmm. He says, don't expect Cleveland to get a Super Bowl anytime soon. Evidently, they fall short on the hotel rooms needed in that area.
Well, it's 15 miles away from Cleveland.
And anyway, even in Cleveland, there's evidently not enough hotel rooms to accommodate what the Super Bowl needs.
Well, it's only a 60,000 capacity.
Yeah, but
so how much does the Super Bowl need? 60,000 people.
Obviously, they need more seats than that with all the high rollers that come in for the Super Bowl. Roger Goodell says there's not enough hotel space in Cleveland.
That's kind of a jerk thing to say when you're at the groundbreaking. It's like, congratulations, Cleveland, on breaking ground for this new stadium. Don't expect a Super Bowl anytime soon, though, because I'm Roger Goodell.
No, because there's requirements, minimum requirements.
Sure.
The Cleveland area doesn't have enough hotel rooms. They say they might get the draft in the next couple of years. Cleveland held it during the COVID year.
Yeah, again, but you're 15 miles away.
Well, that's not much in a big city. 15 miles. Look at some of these other stadiums where they're built. They're out in the middle of nowhere.
No.
Kansas City.
That's Kansas City.
Kansas City's going to be in Kansas City, Kansas. If they build that stadium, how far is that going to be away from downtown Kansas City, Missouri?
Really far, which is why a lot of people in Kansas City are pissed off about it.
No, it's only 15 miles. 15 miles in a big city is nothing. So it's going to be built near the airport. So anyway, a dome stadium for Cleveland.
I'm all about the downtown stadiums.
You're not about dome stadiums, though. You hate them.
I'm not about dome stadiums. So,
well, even in Cleveland.
Yeah, this is like double bad, stupid stadium. This has a dome, and it's 15 miles outside. I'm 2 thumbs down here.
2 thumbs down on Cleveland's new stadium. Let's see what else is going on. The New York Mets. Let's talk about the Mets in Major League Baseball.
Okay.
They got off to an ugly start to the season. Mm-hmm. They had this 9-game homestand that they just finished up last night against 3 sub-500 teams. Thought they were going to get their season turned around. This is the second most expensive roster in Major League Baseball. They thought they could turn things around. Well, last night, the Mets fell to the Washington Nationals 5-4 at Citi Field to drop the 3-game series and finish that 9-game homestand 3-6. The Mets have now lost 17 of their past 20 games and will begin the month of May with a worst record in baseball at 10-21. They've won 10 games out of 31 for the second richest team in Major League Baseball.
And everyone's collectively scratching their heads trying to figure it out. That's a good roster. Let's see, Boston and Philadelphia have already made panic button coaching changes. New York is probably this weekend or early next week. The timetable's ticking. And, I could see a quick switch and a shuffling of the lineup and try to create something to start some momentum heading into the summer months, because you have another month like this,
you're done.
Which would you're out of the postseason chase. I mean, you got just too much wood to chop, and 3 months is a long time to be hacking after being 20 games under 500. But the other thing it does is it turns ownership, and not necessarily ownership, but the management of that ball club. You're playing X number of games below 500 as you approach the trade deadline. All of a sudden, you went from contender at the beginning of the season to a seller, and it takes a long time for teams to come out of that selling mindset. But that's what New York might have to do if they're playing losing baseball at that point in the juncture. Again, head scratching with all the talent that they have on that team. To me, it was the veteran leadership that they traded away in the offseason. Pete Alonso going to Baltimore, I think shook up that locker room more than they'd like to admit. And I think that was an oopsie on their part, and they're suffering the consequences for it.
All right, so the Mets will begin the month of May with some wood to chop, like you said. Did you see what Duke did yesterday? They're entering in to its first-of-a-kind enterprise partnership with Amazon. Okay. It's going to include, evidently, streaming services for some big games for Duke next year, for basketball, and obviously the partnership with Amazon. The Blue Devils game next year against UConn in Las Vegas on November 25th. Against Michigan at Madison Square Garden on December 21st, and against Gonzaga on February 20th in Detroit will all be on Amazon Prime. Duke has worked out their own deal with Amazon Prime. That's what streaming services are all about.
Was that even legal?
Yeah, evidently it is. The deal will include extensive NIL opportunities for Duke Athletics and is part of a broader retail partnership expected to be announced at a later date.
That sounds cringy and ugly. And like going back behind the back of the ACC. ACC works out media rights deals. Big Ten works out media rights deals, right, for the conference. And try to get you equal share and equal slice of the pie. And then Duke says, nah. Well, we can do better. We can get our own damn deal. And then what's Daddy and ACC going to say when all of a sudden you got North Carolina goes, we want a deal too. This could get ugly.
Of course, Amazon has got the NFL game since 2017. They've got exclusive rights to Thursday night NFL football all the way through the 2033 season. The streaming service also began an 11-year media rights agreement with the NBA this season. So Amazon Prime getting more involved in sports. Now they've got Duke signing on with a deal. Yeah, this will be interesting to watch. So those Duke games next year are going to be on Amazon Prime, those 3 big games. So I told you, streaming is taking over.
IT guy is taking over the comment section.
I see that.
Requirements to host hotel equal to at least 35% of the stadium's capacity, situated within a 1-hour drive. Infrastructure over 35,000 parking spaces within 1 mile. Practice facilities, 2 identical, 2 top-tier practice fields within a top 20-minute drive of team hotels. So
evidently Cleveland doesn't
they fall short on a few things.
Cleveland doesn't match any of those. So don't expect the Super Bowl in Cleveland anytime soon. Thanks to the IDT guy for checking that out. I knew there were some parameters.
Super Bowl bylaws.
That you had to meet in order to be considered a Super Bowl site. By the way, it's the bookkeeper's birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday, bookkeeper. Oop, you went silent. You should unmute your microphone.
Yeah,
there you go.
I don't know why that happens.
That was weird.
Maybe she turned it off. I wasn't supposed to.
You are not
about
saying my age on the air, young man.
You're not talking about my birthday.
Mute.
Yeah, it's the bookkeeper's birthday today.
Yay.
Maybe go out and buy her a birthday drink when I get home.
Birthday beer?
That's if I get home from Crete anytime soon.
Oh, you should.
Oh, we might have to play that second game.
3 o'clock game, that gets you down by 6. That gets you home by 8.
8?
Yeah.
I'll make it.
Or we could just take care of business in the first game and you don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
Then I will be home.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. We got Jim Slacker standing by here soon and talk ponies from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. All that and more is coming up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
One man has died following a crash tied to a DUI investigation in Hall County. The Nebraska State Patrol says a trooper stopped to assist a driver with a blown tire on Interstate 80 on Tuesday afternoon. The suspect then suspected impairment. As the trooper approached the vehicle, the driver fled, leading to a pursuit. Authorities say the driver exited near Alda and lost control and crashed. The man who was ejected from the vehicle was pronounced deceased at the scene. The incident remains under investigation. Meanwhile, Independent Senate candidate Dan Osborne has outraised incumbent Pete Ricketts in the first quarter of 2026, signaling early momentum in Nebraska's U.S. Senate race. Federal filings show Osborne brought in more campaign donations during the opening months of the year, while Ricketts, seeking a full term, still maintained significant financial backing overall. The race is drawing national attention as Osborne, a former labor leader, again challenges the Republican incumbent in what could be a competitive contest ahead of the November election. It is now coming up on 7:30. We'll swing things over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going on in sports?
Well, Robert Kokish is rejoining the Nebraska wrestling program as an assistant coach for the 2026-2027 season. Kokish previously worked with the Nebraska program from 2016 to 2023, serving as an administrative assistant and assistant coach before leaving to take over the family farm in South Dakota. He returns to the staff following the departure of James Green, who stepped down after 3 seasons as an assistant coach. The Nebraska baseball and softball teams are on the road this weekend. The baseball team will play at Ohio State, while the softball team is at Penn State. Hastings College pitcher Marcus Miller threw a 4-hitter yesterday as the Broncos beat Briar Cliff 7-0 in the second round of the GPAC tournament in Crete. Miller did not walk a batter until 2 outs in the 9th inning. He finished the game with 6 strikeouts. Peyton Vargas was 2 for 4 at the plate with 2 RBIs. Jared Delgado and Levi Fletcher were both 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Hastings is now 24-24 in the season. They'll play Doane in the championship game today. The Tigers advanced after beating Northwestern 12-2 yesterday, before taking care of Briar Cliff with an 11-4 win. First pitch today will be at noon. The Tigers will have to beat the Broncos twice to win the championship. Hastings will be playing in their first GPAC site final since 2015. We'll have the action for you on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame at 11:45 this morning. Meanwhile, in the Concordia bracket, Concordia will play Dakota Wesleyan beginning at 3 today. The Tigers will have to beat the Bulldogs twice to win the championship. The 2 site winners will play for the overall GPAC baseball championship on Monday. And the Hastings College softball team entered their season yesterday after dropping a pair of games to Midland in the GPAC tournament, 5-4 in 10 innings and 7-3. The Broncos end the year with a 19-24 record, advancing to the bracket final for the first time since 2017. Midland will move on to play Morningside for the GPAC softball championship on Saturday in a best-of-3 series up in Fremont. Morningside won the Dordt bracket yesterday with a 13-4 win over Dordt. And the Nebraska Kearney softball team will close out the regular season tomorrow with a doubleheader against Fort Hays State in Kearney. Game times will be at 1 and at 3. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:32 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Well, we'll have some patchy frost to deal with over the next couple mornings, especially this morning and Saturday morning. Today will warm nicely, though, with a high in the low 60s, plenty of sunshine and a north wind gusting to 20 miles per hour. 33 will be the overnight low tonight, mostly clear skies. Plenty of sunshine on Saturday. Light winds out of the west-southwest, about 5 to 10, a high of 70 degrees. 45 overnight Saturday to Sunday morning. And then on Sunday, a high of 78 with mostly sunny skies. That's a check of your forecast.
Right now, as you wake up, get going, we've got west winds at 7 miles per hour. It is clear. It is 34 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Start your engines, Hastings. It's time for fast, loud Friday nights at Cam Raceway. Cam Raceway is located just east of Hastings on J Street. Catch the adrenaline-pumping action every Friday night through August. Watch stock non-wing micros, restricted micros, junior sprints, cage karts, and more tear up Nebraska's fastest 8-mile dirt track. Gates open at 7. Racing roars to life at 8. Only $10 to get in, and kids 12 and under are free with a paying adult. Cam Raceway, where speed meets dirt and Friday nights come alive. Don't miss it.
Hi guys, this is Justin Consrick with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. Just want to talk to you about how we do things. I talk to farmers every day. A lot of guys just want a simple, honest way to sell equipment. That's why I work with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. We know the equipment, we know the buyers. We run real auctions with no buyer's fees, which brings in more bidders and stronger results. From one machine to the full lineup, we handle marketing, the details, the sales start to finish. We're just real people with real auctions, real results. If you're thinking about auctioning equipment, reach out and give me a call at 991-5429.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
The key to a thriving community is a good foundation. And for over 75 years, Hastings Federal Credit Union has been building and supporting Hastings and the surrounding areas, providing the support for new cars to keep you on the road, new homes to give you a place to land, or help with whatever life throws your way. With easy access via online banking or our mobile app, it's never been easier to have your financial dreams at your fingertips. Come see us at Hastings Federal Credit Union to start your banking journey today.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Mike Will, Tyson and Veronica with you on Hastings' only live morning show today. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, 737. Baseball coming up today. Hastings College and Doane from Crete. 11:45 for the pregame show, 12 o'clock noon for the first pitch. We'll also have high school baseball this afternoon. Hastings High and Kearney from Duncan Field. 4:30 for the first pitch there, 4:15 for the pregame show on Extreme Sports 2. So high school baseball coming up on Extreme Sports 2 today. Hastings College baseball here on Extreme Sports. It's a Friday, and you know what that means.
They're moving in the gate.
And down the stretch they come in the Kentucky Derby, and Barbaro is running away. It's Edgar Prado aboard, and Barbaro is going to win this Derby by 6 lengths. Blue Best had second. From far back, Steppenwolf came on to be third.
It's Friday, and that means we want to bring in Jim Sliker from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network to talk ponies, and obviously a big weekend of racing coming up, not only at Fauner Park as they wrap up their 2026 meet this weekend, Jimmy, but obviously with everything going on at Churchill Downs, this is a horse lover's dream this weekend, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's one of the, as they say, it's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports that you'll see. That'll take place Saturday with the Kentucky Derby with 20 great horses running. But today's kind of another big day because today's the Kentucky Oaks for the fillies, and there's a great field assembled there. There's also 7 other stakes races on the card there at Churchill Downs, and so it's just a fantastic betting opportunity across the whole board for the next couple days.
And Jimmy, with that, with everything that's going on over at Churchill Downs, just being around horse racing, yes, you could sit essentially on your couch and enjoy the excitement and the TV coverage that's provided, but there's nothing quite like being at a horse track when all of this excitement is happening, and Fauner is certainly the recipient of some of the excitement that's generated with this being such a big horse racing weekend. It's always a fun crowd and a vibrant and excited crowd as well here this weekend.
Oh, it is. Whether it's football, baseball, horse racing, whatever. If you're taking it in with a group of friends, a big crowd, the energy just builds and builds, and the excitement is there. If you sit and watch the football game by yourself or watch a horse race by yourself, it's just not the same. You don't get that energy, that vibe from the stadium and being there. So it is. It's a great time to come out to Fauner. Like I said, the Kentucky Oaks, the Kentucky Derby, they'll both be simulcast out there. You'll be able to watch, wager, and win on them, as well as being able to bet on all of Fauner's great races this weekend.
All right, so again, this is the final weekend of live racing at Fauner Park. Let's hop right to it. The Friday card, Jimmy, what pops out on the Friday card today at Fauner?
Well, there's 8 good races, very competitive races, but the track should be fast. It should be drying out, a little wind out there. So to get right to it, for my best bet of the day today, I like in the 5th race, number 9, Neon Moonlight. This race lacks speed, and therefore Neon Moonlight ought to be able to get out and control the race and be able to steal this race. And I think we can make a little money off Neon Moonlight. I don't think it's going to be one of those 1 to 9 like we've seen last week type bets. I think we ought to be able to get at least 3 to 2 off of that one. And if we're looking at a long shot today, a horse I really like in here is the 4th race. It's a 4-furlong sprint. Pondicherry. Pondicherry's raced against some of the best, and we look at that horse. It's been beat, but there's no Hurricane Lassie in here, Honey from the South. So Pondicherry ought to be able to get out, and there's 5 to 1 starting odds. I don't know if we'll get that. I'd love to have 5 to 1, but listen, there's 8 good races today. First post time's 4 o'clock, and I think there's those 2 horses we can make a little money off of.
Again, Jim Schleicher joining us from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network as we not only take a look at the weekend card ahead here for Fauner Park, but also as we move along through on this program, talk a little bit about the Run for the Roses over at Churchill Downs. Jimmy, let's talk a little bit about Saturday's card and a couple stakes races featured here on Saturday. Well, first I want to take a look at the 8th, the Swihart Memorial Stakes race. And this has got a really good field, including your favorite, the 2-horse Full Spirit. Talk a little bit about the Swihart Memorial Stakes.
Well, it is. It's a good competitive race here also. It's going 6.5 furlongs. Some of these horses have run against each other, but we look at Full Spirit. That horse had 6 wins in a row going back to last year at Arapahoe Park over in Denver and at Fauner Park here before he was beat last time out by another horse that's in the race, Sweet Mother of Mary. So them 2 are going to square off again. We're also going to see Flaming Glory in there. It's had 2 firsts and a second and only 3 starts, and so it's shaping up to be a really good race. But I think I have to look at Full Spirit return back to form. I don't know. I just think that they're going to have this horse ready to win today in the stakes race, or tomorrow in the stakes.
Jimmy, is that your best bet of the day on Saturday?
No. If I'm going to go to my best bet of the day, I'm going to race 4, which is a maiden race, and the horse comes in from Oaklawn Park by the name of Little Crush. Little Crush had been running in $50,000 maiden claiming races over at Oaklawn down in Arkansas, home of the Arkansas Derby. And it had a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. And I just think that class down there, a $50,000 maiden claiming race down there, is so much better than what we're going to see here. That if that horse can handle the track, I think that horse ought to do a little crushing today. Or ought to look really good.
Again, Jim Schleicher from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network here on Huddle Up this morning. You can, of course, head to the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network on social media. It is a Facebook group. Be added to the group to stay up to date on all of the news and events, not just here at Fauner Park, but across the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing circuit. Let's take a look at your long shot play, Jim, for Saturday. That comes in the second. A horse, I love the name of this horse, 357. All spelled out, and he spells out a nice long shot play here for you.
Well, I think if we look at who 357 run into last time, it was a $7,500 claiming race, but out of that race was the eventual winner of the Elite Sprint Cup. That Elite Sprint Cup brought in some really nice horses. That was a exemplary race there, and so 357 run a nice race against that horse, and I think not having that in there, I really think 357 should be the long shot, but I also think 357 is a good exotic play. I think I'll be playing both win money and exotic there, and I think we ought to be able to get at least 5-1 out of 357.
All right, those are the best bits and the long shots of the day for the Friday and Saturday card at Fauner Park. Now, I see the Kentucky Oaks is also coming up today. Jimmy, you got some selections for the Kentucky Oaks on the card this week.
Yes, I do. The Kentucky Oaks, that's the 3-year-old filly division, kind of like the Kentucky Derby, the first leg of the filly Triple Crown. There's some really good horses running in that race. There was a major scratch in there. Bella Ballerina is out, and there's also a couple other scratches, but they're not as significant as Bella Ballerina. I'm going to go right back to a horse called Percy's Bar. This is a horse that I liked last year when it was running in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and it ended up running second that day. I think we'll see some amends there, and it's had a little time off, come back, run a nice race last time out. And I really think Percy's Bar should get the win. If I'm looking at a second place horse, I'm probably looking at Counting Stars. That it was second. It was a winner in the Honeybee, and the Fantasy winner, pardon me, and second in the Honeybee, both down at Oaklawn Park. And I thought those were some of the premier races for the 3-year-old fillies. So I look for Counting Stars, and third probably Zany that was second in the Ashford at Keeneland to Percy's Bar. So I look for those three to all run good in the Oaks tonight, and that will be run under the lights. We'll see that at about 8:30 before that race runs. So that'll be an interesting one under the lights at Churchill today.
Prime time under the lights horse racing at Churchill Downs. That will set the stage for the most exciting day, just like. With NASCAR, they kind of generally celebrate their Super Bowl of racing to kick off the Triple Crown season here, and here we are at the pinnacle of that. Saturday, they run for the Roses, the Kentucky Derby. All eyeballs, all national pundits have been on Todd Pletcher and the Renegade, who has had it made this season. He has the number one post position. We're probably running off here, at least looking at the early morning lines at 4-1 as of right now. A lot of people backing Renegade, and I think for good reason here. Do we go away from Renegade? Is there any other horses in that field that can challenge for the victory here?
Well, it's kind of like we always say in the Kentucky Derby. You put 20 horses in a field, then it's not the horse that necessarily is the best horse wins the race. We always want the best horse to win. But when you put 20 horses out there, it's like driving down the interstate in a traffic jam. You're going to get held up from time to time, and that can really stifle some really good horses. And I think that might be the problem with Renegade. I'm going away from Renegade winning the race just because he is down on the one hole. Not a favorable position to start in a 20-horse field. You think the rail position's a great place, but when you're an off-the-pace horse and you're on the inside, everybody's coming over in front of you. It's hard to jockey for position unless you can really get out and hold your position. The one hole is not the most favorable in this race, even though we're going 1.25 miles. So I'm going. I'm kind of looking at a long shot here. I like a horse, Chief Wallaby, that's coming out of the Bill Mott barn. It hasn't won its last 2 races. It was in the Florida Derby. It run third, but it was only beaten a half length. It was in the Fountain of Youth. It runs second. It was beating the neck. But when we look at who beat that horse, it was some of the top horses in there. It was beat by Commandment. It was beat by Puma. And so for, I guess, going against the norm, this is a horse that only has one win in a maiden race. And thing going against it is generally the odds are against a horse that did not start as a 2-year-old, and Chief Wallaby didn't. But I just can't throw out Chief Wallaby for who he's run against. But so that's kind of my choice there on a long shot. I do think Renegade has a good shot to get up for second. Another horse that I like, and a lot of the people talk about the Louisiana Derby not being the strongest field, and I can agree with that. People pointed towards the Arkansas Derby. You're running for
Uh-oh, what happened to Jimmy?
Yeah, lost him.
Lost Jimmy. What happened? We were talking about the Kentucky Derby.
Yep.
Yeah, we were talking about the Kentucky Derby. He's on Chief Wallaby. He's on Renegade. He started to talk about the emerging markets. And then his number 4 selection.
See if we can't reconnect here.
Yeah, he's calling back in. His 4th place finisher in that Kentucky Derby is Commandment. Mm-hmm. So those are the top 4 finishers. Jim, we got you back on again.
Yeah, I hope we're back. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, we love cell phone service. That's great.
Well, that was a way for me to not get my picks out there and so I could get better odds in this multi hundreds of millions of dollars being bet. I hate to give my good bet out there because I don't need all these people. I know Tyson will put $10 on it. That's just going to kill my odds.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, so you gave us a Chief Wallaby. You gave us a Renegade. You started talking about the emerging market. Then you got a 4th selection in there to run 4th in the Kentucky Derby tomorrow.
My 4th choice is Commandment. It was the Florida Derby winner. It won over Puma, and Puma's getting a lot of play early amongst the bettors. He's being touted as one of the top horses in the field. So if you like Puma, I really think you have to like Commandment, and so that's what I'm looking at there. There's not a lot of early speed in this race. So, if you look at a lot of the reporters, a lot of the handicappers, everybody's going, who is the speed? And that's where I kind of, like I said, looked at Chief Wallaby, that I think he can be right up there on the front or just off the pace. And this is going to be an exciting race because it's so evenly matched this year. Seems like every year there's always one horse that stands out. There's a lot of horses that stand out today for tomorrow's races.
As far as weather forecast is concerned, I have not paid attention, Jim, in Churchill Downs. What is the conditions like, and how will that impact racing over at Churchill this weekend?
Last I seen, it's supposed to be good weather and a fast track, so
Awesome.
That's how I handicapped this. Hopefully we don't see the off track that we've seen in the past. Although that can make for an exciting race, watching them come down in the slop.
All right, so if you want more insight on the ponies this weekend at Fauner Park or the racing action at Churchill Downs this weekend, check out Jim's Facebook group at Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network. It'll have all the latest right up until post time. So if anything major happens with any of the ponies, especially in that Kentucky Derby, we'll have the latest info there on Jimmy's Facebook group. So, all right, that brings to an end Fauner Park Racing. They're heading to Lincoln next. Is that right, Jimmy?
That is correct. They're heading to Lincoln. We will have a weekend off in between here. That's going to be an exciting week as everybody gets over to Lincoln, the new stables over there. But there's also some meetings coming up this next week with the Nebraska legislature. Governor Pillen, some of the senators, and a group of horsemen will all be in Omaha and discussing how we can increase the purses, how we can make Nebraska breeding, Nebraska racing better, and grow it. And so that'll be an exciting week, and hopefully we can talk a little bit about that next Friday as we prepare for the rest of the season.
All right, Jimmy, get ready for I think it should be a fun and exciting weekend. Hopefully a profitable one for you this weekend with your selections again on the Derby. All eyes will be on the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. We look forward to that.
I'm excited about it. I already got my tickets to the Breeders' Cup. Our rooms are booked. We're ready to go in October, and so this is just the start of getting ready for that.
All right, Jimmy, have a good weekend. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks, guys. You have a great weekend. Good luck, everybody, and let's make some money.
Thanks,
Jim. All right, Jim Schleicher from the Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network joining us each and every Friday here on Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Give us the insight on the ponies. So, you got a wager on the Derby this year? Might throw your $10 out there.
I mean, does a bear in the woods? The old saying. Yeah, I'll make a wager on the Kentucky Derby. Might even float one on the Oaks that gets underway on primetime tonight. So we'll see. But we probably, if you spot a Tyson out in the wild this weekend, may or may not be in Grand Island at the Kentucky Derby.
All right, Chief Wallaby is the choice again for
Chief Wallaby
for the Derby for Jimmy Boy. Renegade, everybody's favorite. His second choice, Emerging Market.
Mm-hmm.
He's got running third, and then the Commandment running fourth. So, hell, as hot as Jimmy has been this year, I might as well just put some exotics together, and we'll see what happens, huh?
It's hard to bet against the guy that's been hitting this year.
Yeah, he's had some good weeks.
I don't know. I'm also, just because of, as Jim mentioned, it is a little unpredictable. I think you throw one horse in there to kind of give your ticket a little bit more juice, as they say, pump up the odds a little bit. I like the 8 horse, So Happy. Coming out of the middle of the pack. That's a good spot to start with. And I wouldn't be surprised if So Happy got thrown in.
That gets you 5 horses to bet.
That would make me so happy.
That'd be 5 horses to bet in your exotic.
Well, I'm not going to bet 5 horses in the
Well,
exotic.
I might.
You have to whittle it down.
You got to throw Jimmy's 4 picks in, and I'm going to throw your happy horse in.
My happy horse.
That's 5 horses.
Happy horse.
By the way, baseball, Adams Central is going to host the C6 baseball tournament next week at Duncan Field.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, Guardian Angels West Point Beamer will play Takema Herman at 1, followed by Adams Central against Fort Calhoun at 4. Mm-hmm. Hastings High will play at the B3 tournament at Elkhorn North. Hastings will play Elkhorn North next Thursday at 3, followed by Waverly against Wahoo Bishop Newman at 5. High school baseball today, Adams Central is at Twin River. Hastings High will host Kearney today. We'll have the game from Duncan Field on Extreme Sports 2, beginning with the pregame at about 4:15 this afternoon. High school baseball from yesterday, St. Paul Palmer beat Aurora 13-3. Central City Centura knocked off Twin River 11-1, and Grand Island shut out Lincoln Southwest by the score of 2-0. You're waking up with Mike and Tyson. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports at 7:58.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Feel the dirt fly and the engines roar. Extreme Sports is teaming up with Cam Raceway to bring you non-stop racing action every Friday night through August on Nebraska's fastest 8th-mile dirt track, located just east of Hastings on J Street. Catch all the excitement. Stock non-wing micros, restricted micros, junior sprints, junior cage karts, adult flat karts, and junior flat karts. Can't make it to the track? No problem. Watch it on x-streamsports.com. Just click the link at the top of the page and follow the instructions. Now you can catch the thrill of race night from your living room. Cam Raceway and Extreme Sports, a winning combination.
All right, we'll have a Bronco baseball for you coming up here in just a little bit. 11:45 pregame, 12 o'clock noon for their first pitch today from Crete. Hastings playing Doane in the championship game, the Doane bracket of the GPAC baseball tournament. Doane will have to beat Hastings twice in order to move into the overall championship game on Monday. So we'll have that here on Extreme Sports. We'll have Hastings High Baseball with Kearney this afternoon on Extreme Sports 2, beginning at 4:15 this afternoon. And we'll have a Cam Raceway tonight as we begin another season of exciting racing action at Cam Raceway. We'll provide the official stream for Cam Raceway again this year. And you can go to our website, follow the instructions, and check out the racing action on our website tonight. If you can't make it to the races in person, we made a lot of changes again. Like we told you at the start of the show, we've got a brand new camera that's going to follow all the action all night long. We've got a new stream feature with a live scoring banner at the top of the page, a brand new fan vote that spectators at the track and the fans watching from home can participate in. So the first 2 weeks of racing at Cam Raceway on the stream, absolutely free. Check them out and give us some comments on the new features we've got added for the 2026 season. We've invested a lot of time and effort and money and resources to give you a new streaming experience for Cam Raceway, and we'll debut that tonight on our website at x-streamsports.com.
All right. Speaking of racing, do you have any NASCAR nuggets before we go?
God, I haven't even looked at it for this week yet.
Man.
They're in Texas, I know that.
Okay, Texas.
Yeah, they're in Texas. I can't give you any info.
No nuggets?
I have no nuggets. I don't know.
I'm with you. I just now realize I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to submit my lineup.
It's by tomorrow in the afternoon sometime, or morning, I think it is.
Yeah.
You got to get your lineup in. You just go with Tyler Reddick, don't you? You just throw him in for the next 9 races because he always wins.
Except for Talladega.
Yeah, he didn't win.
When half the field gets wiped out.
Yeah. So it's back to
the T. Reddick show.
Yeah. When you don't have a lot of time to prep, you just pull out Tyler Reddick and put him in your...
Just take the standings, take a look. All right, slap you in.
If you don't have time to do your homework, you slap in the guys at the top of the page, and hopefully they have an average year. So, or an average race.
Average race. All right.
All right, so that's what's going on. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, other than that, nothing going on this weekend.
I feel like I've just been involved with a 2-mile race.
Didn't even get to Husker baseball and softball that wrap up their seasons this weekend.
What is it? On the road this weekend.
We're both on the road.
So, all right. Have yourself a good weekend. Enjoy the Derby.
Yeah.
We'll try to get Hastings College a win in baseball today, which will put us into the overall GPAC championship game on Monday.
Haven't been there in a while.
No. I can't remember ever doing one.
You probably done a couple.
It probably has, but I can't remember doing them. It hasn't been any time.
It has been a while, yeah.
In the recent past, I can't remember doing one, but I'm sure I probably have. But I'll look into that if we get through that today.
So. We got to take care of business first.
All right, we'll talk to everybody at about 11:45 this morning from Crete. Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to listen to the show again, listen to the picks that Jimmy from Nebraska Thoroughbred Racing Network gave us. You can go back and download the podcast on our social media sites and listen to the show again. Thanks for joining us. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday here on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.